welcome to the It Doesn't Hold Up podcast. We review and reevaluate all things remember fondly from our childhood and years prior to see if they still hold up. And more often than not, they probably don't. I'm Stuart Shepherd, along with my co-host and good friend Michael Smith. Smith, knock knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
No need to cry, it's only a joke. Sorry. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
I was working in the lab late one night.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of that today. How are you doing? How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Stuart. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm well. I probably got more sleep than you because, yeah, don't know if our viewers and listeners know, but Smith had some good news recently. Do you want to tell everyone, Smith?
Yes, yeah, no, I have just had, or my partner has just had our first child, a young girl by the name of Daphne.
Oh, congratulations. Clap, clap, clap.
Thank you.
Very, very, very good news to you.
I'm tired.
I bet you are. I bet you are. But just like when my son was born, the show must go on.
Well, absolutely. I'm not feeding her.
Well, there you go. There you go. And yeah, and what better way to celebrate than to talk about some spooky stuff? So yeah, this is our Halloween episode, the third one in a row. So looking forward to talking about today's episode. Yeah, but before we get into this week's nomination, just want to talk about last episode's feedback, which was Short Circuit. Now, a lot of the feedback is very samey, and I will read it out. It'll become very apparent. So listen to this, right? In my memory, the second one was always much better, and I watched it so many times, I had completely forgotten large parts of the first film. Somebody else said, I only remember the second film too. I remember it having an equally distasteful performance by Fisher Stevens. Then someone else said, what a film, but I seem to remember, as a kid, thinking the sequel was better than the first, but I could be wrong. Then somebody else said, who is Johnny? Oh, okay, fine. And then this was my most favourite bit of feedback was, I'm going to start using the phrase, I'm sporting a tremendous Woody.
Well, to whoever's provided us with that piece of feedback, can I make the suggestion that you don't start using that phrase?
Yeah, maybe
Unless you
not.
want to get yourself arrested, in which case you crack on, buddy boy.
Yeah, yeah. And also that phrase is not suitable for work, just saying. Right. Is there anything else, Smith, you want to say about Short Circuit, or did you get any other supplementary feedback?
Nothing that won't get me in trouble.
Oh, good, good, fantastic. Right, well, we'll put Short Circuit to bed once and for all. Right, so this episode's domination, which came from me, and it's the Halloween episode. So I have chosen Casper, the live-action movie from 1995. Brief synopsis. Yep, it's the feature-length live-action version of Casper. And the tale of him living in a house with his three uncles. He desperately wants a friend, and then Kat and James Harvey, father and daughter, move in to exorcise these ghosts, and hijinks ensues. That's about it.
It's never explained whether or not they're actually his uncles.
Yeah,
He calls them his uncles, but
yeah, they're known as the Ghostly Trio, but they're not ever referred to as the Ghostly Trio either.
no.
It's just shit I've read. So it's just, yeah. And you know, we'll get into this when we talk about when we come across that. But there are so many iterations of Casper, like so many, and this is just one of them. But yeah, quite right. They say he's his uncles, but there's no real proof.
Anyway,
So there you go. So this came out in America in May 1995. We got it in July 1995. Now this is weird, right? I remember this coming out in the UK in Halloween
mm.
because I remember going to watch this on an October half term in terms of Halloween. So I've completely got that wrong. So
No,
yeah,
no, no. You may not have done. They may have rerun it at Halloween due to
maybe.
the seasonal appropriateness of the film. I mean, it did really well. I mean, not to get into it now, but the film did really, really well at the box office. So I assume there was replayability of it.
Possibly, or it just never left the cinema. It was just on since July. It just carried on for 3 months
You,
or whatever it
you
was.
wouldn't get that much anymore, I don't suppose. But yeah, no, could
Yeah,
well have been.
but yeah, this was very much a summer blockbuster, which is weird because it's a bit like when we did Hocus Pocus, because Hocus Pocus that was released in America as a summer blockbuster, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
this is a Halloween movie. Why have you released this over the summer?
Unless you're intending to have it released on home video in time for Halloween, which at this time you wouldn't have done,
Yeah,
why wouldn't you release this in October? It doesn't make any sense. The more I think about it, though, I think the re-release thing probably makes sense because I don't know. My local cinema recently has been playing a lot of Halloween classics in the run-up to Halloween. So it
mm.
was American Werewolf in London's been playing. The first Halloween's on, so
Yeah,
there is an audience for it.
yeah, but this if this came out in July 1995 in England, then I went to see it in October 1995. That's not a re-release. This is what I mean. It's just it never left.
No,
I
no,
don't know. I don't
no.
know. Well, anyway, so we'll get onto all
I
that.
saw it
But
in the summer. I very much remember seeing it in the summer.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll get to that bit in a second. But before we do that, yeah. So it came out in 1995. So what are we doing for scene setting? Because we've done it before, or are we doing a
We,
fun quiz, or what are we doing?
we're going to do a fun quiz, or fun
Yay!
in inverted commas. So in honor of my daughter Daphne, I will be doing you a quiz on ghosts and ghosts in popular cartoon series. So I have a list here of 10 ghosts.
Cool.
5 of them are from Scooby Doo, hence the connection.
Mhm.
And not that my daughter is not named after a character from Scooby Doo. Let me just clear that one right up before I get in trouble.
Sure, she ain't.
The other 5 are from the real Ghostbusters.
Love that code.
So we have 10 ghosts. I'm going to give you the name of the ghost, and you're going to tell
Mhm.
me, was it from Scooby Doo, Where Are You, or from the real Ghostbusters?
Okay, I like that. Go for it.
Okay, so number 1, Minor 49er. And that is a minor as opposed to like a young person.
I thank you for clearing that up, nonce vibes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say
Yeah, no, it's not a nonsense. It's not ghost nonsense.
I'm gonna
Although
say
we'll get to that.
oh, we'll get to that. I'm gonna say for that one, Scooby Doo.
Correct.
Yeah,
Scooby Doo.
that sounds like mine and the minor like that. So yeah, yeah.
White Zoink Scoob, it's Minor 49er. I've only done this, so I can do that.
Good
Um,
impression. That was a good impression.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah. Second one, Puppet Master.
Oh, that's got to be real Ghostbusters.
Oh, incorrect. It's Scooby Doo.
Wow. Okay.
Number 3, Doctor McCatheter.
That's also Scooby Doo.
No, it's Ghostbusters.
Fuck's sake.
Number 4, and a reference for the kids here, Charles Foster Hurst. It's not even clever wordplay.
I'm gonna say Ghostbusters.
Correct. Charles Foster Hurst,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. Number 5, the 10,000 volt ghost.
Scooby
That's
Doo.
fucking correct. Scooby Doo. Lazy. There you go. There's 3. You got 3. Number 6, Fish Lips.
Oh, that could be either of them. Let's go Ghostbusters.
Correct. Ghostbusters. Number 7, Wax Phantom.
Scooby Doo.
Correct.
Oh,
Scooby Doo. That's 5. Number 8. Where are we? Number 8. African Fetish Ghost.
I can't believe it's either of them.
It is. This one.
I'm gonna say Ghostbusters.
Correct. It's Ghostbusters. Okay.
God.
Number 9. Bing Bong the Monster.
Scooby Doo.
Correct. Scooby Doo. And the final one. You got 7 out of 10. So you're doing quite
Oh,
well.
not bad.
Last one. Uh, laziest names ever. Um, Clown Juggler.
Clown Juggler. Oh, Ghostbusters.
Correct. That's
Oh,
8 out of 10. Well done. And
wow.
for a bonus point, Casey Jones.
No, that's Turtles.
It's also a ghost in Ghostbusters. There was a ghost in Ghostbusters called Casey Jones.
Really? I didn't
It's a
know that.
phantom train conductor by the looks of the picture I found on the internet earlier when I was doing my searching.
Oh, I thought you were trying to trick me, but no, no, no. Oh, okay, I didn't
No,
know
no,
that.
no. Yeah, I could have done a version of it where I did trick you, but it'd be nice. So no, well done. 8 out of 10, and those are the ghosts from Scooby Doo and the real Ghostbusters.
Well, that was fun, wasn't
Wow. In inverted
it?
commas.
Yeah. All right, all right. Back to Casper then. So, yeah, we've already touched it already. So,
Mm.
how old were we when we first saw Red Heard about it? Well, actually, before we get into where we saw it, I remember
Mm.
there was a lot of buzz about this even before it came out. Like
Yes, I remember
this
the
was
poster.
promoted on poster. You had the poster in your bedroom,
I
right?
did have the
And
poster in my
and
bedroom.
you had it even a couple of years after it came out. Because I remember the first time I came around your house, right? I was in your room and you had all these movie posters and you had one of Caspar saying "Seeing is believing," but also you had a poster of Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde. I was like, why have you got that? That film's crap.
I've never seen that film.
It's not very good.
It's because I got it. It was free. That's why it was up. Yeah, the Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde with Sean Young.
Yeah,
Yeah, Casper. I had
Mario probably. Yeah,
yeah. Did I have Reservoir Dogs at that point? Maybe.
maybe. Yeah, something inappropriate. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, so anyway, this was everywhere. This was on like cereal boxes. It was in
Yep.
like kids magazines. There was adverts, like TV spots of it everywhere. It was like Casper, 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 you know. So yeah, there was a huge amount of buzz for this. But yeah, so we both saw it at cinema, right?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I saw it at the cinema. I saw it in the cinema in the summer when I was on holiday.
Oh, okay. What, like an English holiday, and then you went to the cinema and watched it?
Yes, because it was pissing down with rain.
Now that's weird you said that. I remember watching it when he was pissing it down, Maroon. It'd be
Yeah.
funny if we saw it the same day. Now, this one is special to me because this is the first film I ever went to see at the cinema without an adult. Like me and a mate when I watched it.
Really?
When yep, we were 11 years old and we got no, not even that, probably 10. We were 10
No, it'd
years
have been
old.
10.
No, hang on a minute. I was born in 84. No, I was
Oh, no,
11.
yeah, no, you were 11. You were 11. It was
No,
October
I
when you saw
wasn't.
it.
No, I wasn't. If it came out in July, then yeah,
Yeah, but if
I
you
was I
saw it in
was
October, you were.
maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But I just remember whenever I saw it, it was school holidays and it
Yep.
was raining, and I got the bus to Sidcup, to the old Sidcup ABC or Coronet or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And it was one of those old school cinemas that only had two screens, and you had to queue up outside. And if you didn't get in line in time, you didn't get in. And when you got
Yeah.
in, it was a free for all. You just sat wherever. So yeah, that was the
I
first
remember
movie.
that cinema well. I saw some terrible, terrible films there.
Yeah, mainly with you. I saw some terrible, terrible films. Um, yeah, so that's my but I could have sworn it was the October half term, but I could be wrong. It could have been July 1995 summer holidays. I'm sorry, but yes, I remember it pissing it down with rain and being soaking in the cinema watching it. So yeah,
Yeah, well, I saw it on holiday with my family. I very much recall, as you say, there was a lot of buzz for the film that came out. I had the poster. I also had a toy of Stinky, one of the three uncles.
yes. You did have a
A
toy of him.
I
I
had a toy
remember
of
that.
Stinky, and you squeezed it, and he made a burping sound, and it smelled of pepperoni. I remember yep. Yeah. I
Yeah, I remember
had
that.
some little glow in the dark badges that I got free from cereal packs of the three of the ghostly trio. I had those. I think I've still got those somewhere, actually, those badges. I'm pretty sure I do. I think I still have Stinky somewhere. I'm pretty sure I found it not too long ago in a box at my parents' house.
It's
Um,
crazy.
I hope I still do have it, actually, 'cause that was a cool toy. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I was pumped for this film when it came out. I was really looking forward to it. Really, really looking forward to it because it was right up my alley. It was spooky. The trailers gave me vibes of Adam's Family and
Uh-huh.
all those other kind of things of a similar ilk. Be like, this really feels like a proper spooky kids film and something that I can get my teeth
Yeah.
into. And I was really, really looking forward to it when I went to see it. And to be honest with you, I was really, really looking forward to seeing it again now because I did have it on VHS. I got it for VHS, like I did most films that I loved at the
Hmm.
time, and watched it to death.
Yep.
And I have not seen it in easily a decade.
Yeah, me too.
Because why would you? Why would you, as an adult, sit down and go, "Oh, I'm going to watch tonight"? Casper.
Yeah.
Well, I did, and I'll tell you what I thought about it in a minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also worth dropping in, I had a VHS when I was a kid before this movie came out of a Casper cartoon, and it was when Hanna-Barbera picked up this cartoon, and it was called Casper and the Angels, and it's such a weird premise. It's Casper and his friend Harry Scary, and it's in the year 2167 in space, and they're flying along with these two space police women called the Angels, and it's called Casper and the Guardian Angels. It's so fucking weird, and it only had like two episodes on the video, but I watched it again and again and again. So obviously, when this movie came out, I was like, "Oh, Casper, like that video I've got,"
But
because a lot of people were just like, "Well, Casper, we didn't really get the comic books over here
yeah,
and shit like that."
so what's interesting is I was sold on the film on the strength of the trailer, on the strength of the
Mm,
marketing, because I'd never seen any Casper product before. I
mm,
had no history with Casper. It was not something, and subsequently, I've never watched anything or read anything. It's not a British thing. It's not a thing we had over here. And in fact, you could argue that this falls into the same category of things that I've always asked about some of these films. Who the fuck was this for? Because this is a comic book that first appeared in the 1950s. This
hmm.
is 40 years after his first appearance. Who is this being marketed at? It's not, Casper wasn't hitting the zeitgeist. It's not like everyone's sitting down on a Saturday morning to read their Casper comics and their Richie Rich comics, which also came out this year, and their Calvin and Hobbes. Like this is not something that people were doing at the time. So who's it for? Um, and I don't think there's a necessarily good answer to that. But unlike, and I don't want to spoil it, but unlike some of the other films that we reviewed where I asked who the fuck is this for, I don't think it necessarily hurts it that much
No,
in the same way that it would some of the others. But anyway, we'll get to it.
indeed. Right. Shall we delve into the plot?
Yes. or sorry, the 20 plots.
The 20
So
plots.
many plots.
So many plots.
Assume you watched this on Disney Plus.
No, I had a free download on Sky because for some years ago, when Sky just randomly give you a free download of something or
Yeah.
other. Well, a couple of Halloweens ago, they went, "Here's Casper for free," so I just downloaded it. I was like, "All right, cool, thanks."
Just like, not like a free download of something you could choose. They just gave you Casper.
Yeah, it was like years ago they gave me that shitty Eli Roth movie, the House with a Clock in the Walls or something, and I'm
Oh, I've never
like,
seen that. Is that shit?
"Yeah, it's awful," but yeah, I was like,
And
thanks. Could you
the
not give
giveaway
me?
there must have been Eli Roth movie, but all right.
I would have preferred Cabin Fever or something. But no, they gave me that garbage. But anyway, yes. So you watch yours on Disney Plus?
Yeah, and the on Disney Plus it's rated 14 plus. And apparently the warning is contains fear, coarse language, and tobacco depictions.
Yeah, there is a lot of swearing and smoking in this. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
that's what it sounded like a Saturday night around my house. Oh
Good
dear.
times. Good
I tell
times.
you what, also, as it started, there is something very comforting to me about the 90s Universal logo.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
see it and I'm like, ah.
I used to like the one that was from like the early 90s. When he's go da na 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 na.
Yeah,
The one now is just shit. Like dun, 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 dun. It's crap. It's not the same.
yeah, it's too
It's not
loud.
the, too loud. Too loud. Too
Too goddamn loud.
loud. But yeah, it's quite right. It's universal. So then we start off with spooky sounds, including howling. So we're at an old house, and there's these two shit kids arrived on a bike to take a photo for some reason. What? Why? What? Why?
Oh, because
Okay.
the house, I suppose, because the house is supposed to be haunted, right? So it's like
Ah,
I assume it's a
okay.
dare thing. You go and take a photo in the house.
Yeah, okay.
At this point already, it feels very similar in tone and design to the Adams Family
Yeah,
movies, the various
yeah, I
Adams
thought
Family
that.
movies, mixed with a bit of Tim Burton and a touch of Hocus Pocus. It all
Yeah,
feels very like
yeah,
safe. Like it feels very, very much of the period, like a mid 90s
yeah.
made for like kids film. I mean, it's no surprise to me that Steven Spielberg is an exec producer on this because it fucking feels like it.
That's true. Yeah, when the credits rolled in Amblin, I was like, of course it
Oh
is.
yeah, of course it is. It feels like a bloody Amblin film.
Yeah, and it's funny you said about Tim Burton because even the trailer for this had the Beetlejuice music, which I thought was really odd, you know?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's like standard spooky. The one that
Yeah.
I always see, just as an aside of that, the thing I notice is that the Stargate music, like if you go and watch Stargate at any point, the Stargate music crops up in loads of different trailers. Like
I
it's
didn't
used
recognise
a
that.
lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Right then. Anyway, back to the movie. So the kids break in, and as they go to take a photo, they start arguing over who should be in it. And then Casper appears off screen and says he'll take the photo, and takes the photo. And the kids run off in terror, and the photo shows their terror. Like, oh, this is great. And then all the credits come in, and spooky lettering for Casper and stuff. Yeah,
It's like the house itself, and it's in this bit and all the subsequent. It's clearly a set, and it's
oh yeah,
clearly designed within an inch of its life, but it just looks good. It's got a tangible feel to it
yeah.
that kind of modern films often don't have. Like 'cause they're too glossy. This feels sort of
hmm
lived in. It's good.
And I'm not going to say where this house is cropped up again because I presume that's part of your Smith trivia.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good. We'll save it. We'll save it. Cool. Right. Next scene, we see that bloke for the mask, and he's playing a. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking.
It's
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller himself, Ferris Bueller's teacher. Yeah, yeah. Ben Stein. I actually looked him up a little bit. So what else has he done? It's like, oh, he believes in intelligent design over evolution and disagrees with legalized abortion. So fuck Ben Stein.
Yeah. Fuck Ben Stein. But yeah, he'll always be the guy for the mask for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, he's playing a lawyer and he's going through a will for Carrigan's father who just died, but he's only left of the house. We learn that's the house we just saw, which is called Whipstaff Manor, and it's in a place called Friendship in Maine. Okay.
Amity means friendship.
Yeah, quite right.
This is Eric
Uh,
Idle here in his take the money and run face.
my God. Car I think Eric Idle's great at this film. Like,
Yeah.
when you read how many people they consider to play the role of Dibs, like, I'm so glad it's Eric Idle.
Kathy Moriarty, I looked up after. She seems so familiar. She's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple of films, right? She's in Raging Bull, and
hmm
she's in Matinee. What's the guy's name? This guy did Joe Dante. Joe Dante film
Oh, yeah,
Matinee.
yeah,
So have you
yeah.
ever seen it? Have you ever seen Matinee?
Oh, possibly.
Great, great film.
Yeah.
She is only 35 years old in this film,
It's that
and I
90s
was like,
thing
she
again, isn't
looks
it?
about 50.
Yeah, yeah, she
It's
does.
yeah. I think maybe it's also she's smoking and sounds like she smokes 40 a day.
Yeah, because at first I was like, is that Jennifer Tilly? Because they sound a bit similar, with like a croaky, raspy sort of
Yeah.
voice, but no, it's not. It was Catherine Moriarty. There you go. But yeah, she's not impressed that she's only been, she's only inherited this house and loads of money are going to charities instead for some reason. I'm thinking this is a bit of a plot hole. Why does her father own that house? Surely that house would belong to Casper's family,
No, I
unless,
assume that Casper was the only son of his father who died.
and there was no other
And then
living
the father
relatives
died.
or
There was
anything
nobody
like
else. The dad probably just bought it as part of a property auction.
that. Oh, okay, fair enough. Right, so then Carrigan throws the house papers in the fire, which burns Dib's hands as he's trying to get it. And then they see a rhyme about treasure being in the house, and now she wants it. It's like, no, hang on a minute. Why is there a rhyme in there about treasure? Because there's a bit of a plot development later on about what that treasure is. So why would
Yeah,
that be part of all the house deeds and
yeah,
all
it
that sort
doesn't
of thing?
make any
That
sense.
doesn't make any sense.
Unless it's just Casper fucking about.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been. What, another one of these ploys to get friends to come to the house or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
could have been that. But now she wants his treasure, so now they're at the house, and Carrigan and Dibbs go in the house, and Dibbs managed to set his bandaged hand on fire. So, all of Dibbs's comedy in this I find very, very funny. There's a scene coming up in a bit which I thought was fucking hilarious. It was really, really funny. Um, yeah, Casper appears at the top of the stairs and starts talking to them, but when he shows himself, it scares them both, and they run off. And then, especially because the uncles start arriving, being all spooky, although we don't see him just yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next day, an exorcist arrives. And at first, I was like, "Is that Tom Savini?" But it isn't Tom Savini. But it looked
Yeah,
like Tom Savini.
I kind of looked this guy up. This guy called Tom Novello, and I was like, is he someone? I kind of was like, not really. Like he's a stand-up comedian. He's done various bits and bobs, but he's not like a known or like, was particularly big at the time. So I don't quite
Mm.
understand. But he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like the way he delivers every bit of this. He's like, I've seen the videos. I've seen it. It's just so
yeah,
piece of cake, piece of pound cake. It's so funny. Like,
yeah.
I will say at this point, just kind of just to step back a bit, like with Casper having shown up, like the effects have dated a little bit, and they vary in quality. I think from scene to scene. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're a little
Mhm.
bit. Um, but they still hold up remarkably well
Yeah,
for
I
a
thought
film of
this.
this age.
It's like you are trying to make a ghost look realistic, but you can't really, and it's a kids' film. So what they've done with him CGI was, I think it's fine. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
fine. He looks
Well,
like he does in the cartoons and stuff like that. So I'm all
it's the
right with it.
most effective thing they could have done at this point. I mean, the only
Yeah.
like other option you have is what puppets or Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like that, those are the only
Mm,
alternatives that you could probably go for at this point. And I don't think a puppet would work, and I don't
nah,
really think the cartoon approach would work either. So this is,
nah. This is
yeah,
fun.
best thing.
Yeah, but the CGI does look a bit ropey then, because when the Exorcist come out, his head's turned round the other way, and I was like, yeah, that looks a bit shit. And then he's just
Yeah,
got
yeah.
pupil down him. I was like, I suppose this is an Exorcist reference. That's what I took from it anyway.
Oh
Then
yeah,
then we get Dan Aykroyd reprising his Raymond Stentz role, comes running out. It's like, who are you going to call? Someone else. It goes on. And I always remember as a kid being like, oh my God, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's like
yeah,
crossover two movies.
yeah. It was like, wait a minute, does this mean that this exists as part of the Ghostbusters world?
Possibly.
It must do.
But I mean, now that's to a penny in it. There's multiverse all the time. There's crossover. But back then,
Yeah,
that was mind blowing. It's like, oh my God,
yeah.
why is a
This
Ghostbuster in this movie?
this film has some really effective use of cameos. It's this sequence and there's the one in a little bit where it's
Yeah,
just a really effective deployment of cameos. It's like, oh, great. This is clearly, and again, Spielberg. You can
yeah.
feel Spielberg's film because the director, Brad Silberling, hadn't done that much before this. He'd only done it's his first feature film, he'd done
Mhm.
TV stuff. So he's not roping in, Dan Aykroyd. He's not roping in Clint Eastwood. Like, these are not things that an
Yeah,
unknown director is doing. This is the executive producers swinging their weight around a bit.
definitely. There was like I would say about Dan Aykroyd though. He's got a moustache. I was like, that was really distracting for me. I was like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, he's agreed to be in a cameo playing Ray, but he's not shaving off his moustache.
Yeah, yeah. Or he was filming another movie where he needs a moustache. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cool. We see demolition people there are next, like smashing the house down, but they're scared off. And there's a really funny bit when Dibbs leans on a lever and you just see Carrigan's car get smashed. I was like, that was really good. He
Yeah.
just falls off screen with it. It was really, really good. Casper just wants a friend and he's sad. And then later on, whilst watching Mr. Rogers on TV, then he goes across Hard Copy. And for some reason, at that precise moment,
Yeah,
that
it's a very
precise moment,
convenient news placement.
and then why have there's coverage of Dr. James Harvey, played by Jeff Daniels? And apparently, he's a
Phil,
therapist. Yeah,
I see what you've done there.
yes, that's
I
the man.
see what you've done there. Well done.
No, 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 it's Phil Pullman. Yeah, yeah, he's
What is Bill Paxton?
yeah. Wait, it's one of the bills. Wait a minute. He's a therapist for the dead. But why is there news coverages? And they give you a ton of exposition. It's and his wife's dead, and he's been searching for his wife for a while. I was like, right, okay,
Right. Yes, how
okay,
we're getting the plot
got
across.
it.
It's also there's some massive editorializing. It was like him and his loner daughter, Kat, short for Catherine. It's like, loner? What? And then they're harassing her outside her news. Go, did your father ever hurt you? what are you doing?
Yeah, it's all so forced. But
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
weird. It's such a weird news article.
yeah. Of all things they got to cover on hard copy. And then, yeah, Casper is smitten with Cat, and then he gets an idea. Oh, Carrigan's. And then he goes all through the telephone wires and all that to a hotel. I was thinking, hang on, I thought he wouldn't be able to leave his house. I
That's
thought,
what I thought. I'd forgotten this. Him and the uncles can just leave at will,
yeah. So why
and come
stay
back.
there?
Yeah, why bother? Yeah, why just go somewhere else? If you want
Yeah,
friends, there's loads of people elsewhere. You just go and haunt them.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I also note at this point that the Casper the Friendly Ghost theme is very Christmassy.
Casper. Don't we not hear
Yeah.
that until the end?
No, no, you heard it now. You heard it now. It's du- 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 du.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah, yeah,
sounds
yeah.
very Christmassy.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that, but perhaps it does.
Du- 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 du. Oh, it's Santa. You know, it's not very spooky, is all I'm saying.
Well, also, this film wasn't released at Halloween, so they've probably thought, fuck it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
let's
a
release that at
summer
Christmas.
blockbuster.
Yeah. Yeah, so he goes to the hotel, possesses her TV so she too can see the hard copy footage, and by Jove, this plan works. Oh, she's gonna hire this dead therapist or whatever to get rid of the ghosts in her house. Like, right? And
This
also,
is sorry, Ron.
I was gonna say as well. No, actually, I'll wait till we get to it. I'll wait till we get to it. Go on, what are you gonna say?
This is the first instance, and there's a couple more coming up, of Casper being quite creepy.
Yeah.
He's seen a girl that he likes on TV and has engineered a way to get her to his home. Red flag.
Yeah, and that famous
Red
line that he
flag.
says as well, which is supposed to be cute, is a bit
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll get to that.
yeah,
We're
we'll
gonna
get to
get to
that.
that.
We'll get to that. Um, yeah, so then we get the car journey with Dr. James and Kat doesn't want to move there in typical cliche fashion, and she just
Yeah,
wants to
yeah,
stay
yeah.
in one place and make friends.
I keep moving around. Yeah, I was moving around. I was like, yeah, God damn it, this is played out. Like this is so cliched.
Yeah. And then Kat explains that her father won't find her mother as she's dead and there's no such thing as ghosts. I'm like, but you know what he does for a living, right? It's like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
are you
Although this is the thing, right? Are we to believe then from this and scenes coming up that they've never actually seen a ghost?
Right, that was going to be my point, right? Because then when they do see Casper and the uncles, they all shit themselves. I'm like, so
Yeah.
you're telling me
So
all the time he's been hired before, he's not found anything?
he's just been talking to himself in a room, then gone, "This house is clear." Like, is that what he's? I don't. Yeah. She comes across like a bit of a twat in this bit, where she just goes, "You're not going to find her." Right. The man's
I
clearly going through some shit. Leave him alone.
I'm going to say this early on, right? I don't think Christina Ricci's very good at this film. I
You
think she's
don't. Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I think she's really good in both Adams Family movies. She's great in Sleepy Hollow. She's great in Monster. She's not very good in this. She just looks like she can't be bothered, to be honest with you. But I just,
She is asked to deliver quite a lot of quite cliche dialogue.
yeah, okay. So maybe that's got something to do with it. So James then explains, look, if they don't find what he's looking for, he'll stop all this ghost hunting shit, and they pinky swear on a deal. And like, wonder if this will come back. But yeah. Right, they arrive at the house and then we get a shit Stephen King reference, and then Dibs and Carrigan greet Cat and James, and they start stressing the importance of getting rid of these ghosts in the house ASAP. And I'm like, have they not questioned why you want to get rid of the ghost? And do they not want to get in
Yeah.
on this type thing?
I mean, if you're getting paid, who gives a shit? I mean, she is comically evil.
Yeah,
Like she's just cackling, you know, hand wringing like. And what is her and Eric Idle's relationship? Are we to believe?
yeah. I thought at first he's a lawyer, but he can't have been. But oh, and I suppose the masked dude could have been the property lawyer or whatever.
Yeah,
I
no, I'm
think.
assuming he was the executor of the will. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I think he's just her close advisor or some shit. But no, I don't think they're dating. I think he's just
Oh
like
no, I didn't think that. I mean, he has a terrible haircut in this,
he does.
and terrible suits. He just looks like the most '90s man ever. He looks like what he was at the time, which is a '90s 50-something-year-old British man who's relocated to America and got a bad tan.
Yeah. Although I did like the fact they kept his English accent in this. If he started putting on an American accent, I would have been really annoyed.
I
But
don't
yeah.
think I've ever seen him in anything doing an American accent. Maybe I'm wrong.
His
Hmm.
accent's got weird over the years. Like if you hear
Well,
him
that's because
now,
he's lived in
it's got a
America.
twang. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. If you live in America, if you live anywhere for too long, you start to pick it up.
Yeah. So then Kat and James enter the house and they're impressed. And Casper's very happy that Kat is here. And she goes off to find her own room with a trash bag full of stuff. Like, why have you got a trash bag full of stuff? Why don't you have a suitcase? Yeah,
Your trash bags are cheaper than suitcases.
yeah, perhaps. Casper's following her, and then Cat finds a room with a bed belonging to Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso, and that scene is embedded in my head. And when she's like, "Oh yeah, what great parents" or something like that, I was like, "Yeah, I remember that scene very, very
Yeah,
clearly."
this is is this is are we to believe that they were called Stretch, Fatso, and Stinky in real life?
Yeah,
Is
but
that what
Casper.
we're being asked to believe here? Because their beds, or have they made the beds after dying and they become those? Because there seems to be some degree of ghosts forgetting who they were when they were
Yes,
alive.
but then conveniently
So,
remembering everything when they need to.
well, yeah, absolutely. That's just how narratives work. I mean, but it's also like, so were they his actual uncles? Was one of them fat, one of them skinny, one of them smelly? Were they all called that from, was it nominative determinism? So it's like, we're going to call our kid fat, so he's going to be fat.
Yeah,
We're going to call our kid Stretch, so he's going to be tall. Like, well, you can't really control that one. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
and this is the bit where she looks, goes, "Oh, I wonder where Dark and Dopey sleeps. Who are you talking to? Hmm? Who are you
yeah,
talking to?
exactly, exactly.
Talking to no one. Talking to himself. And it's not even that funny. Fuck off."
No, and also I could be watching, Snow White. All right. Anyway,
Don't remind me of other films.
yeah. Kat chooses a room which conveniently is Casper's room, and then her father wants to help her unpack for some reason. Like, dude, she's a 15-year-old girl, or whatever the fuck old she's supposed to be. It's like, don't be messing around with her suitcase. Weird.
Don't know what you're going to find in there.
Well,
Also, he finds
yeah.
the picture of a dead mum who quite luckily had a number of headshots taken before she died.
Yeah.
It's one of my big bugbears in movies when people have like, oh, it's a picture of this person. It's literally them like
Yeah,
in a
it's like that
in
bit in the
publicity
mask when they're
still.
looking at their boss, and it's just like an autograph. 8 on 10. I was like, why are they looking at that? Funny shit. Right, anyway, as Kat's unpacking her garbage bag full of stuff, she's finally startled by Casper and faints, and then he revives her with horrible looking water, then screams, ah, bah, 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 bah. Big
The
old faff.
physics for Casper are inconsistent. Like sometimes he can pass through stuff, sometimes he gets squashed by a box. It's like, what what are your powers?
Yeah, it's baffling. James comes to help and assures her ghosts can't hurt her as they just have unfinished business. But then he sees Casper and then he shits himself. And again, that goes back to the
Yeah,
point
but I
of
thought he
so this is the first.
believed.
Yeah, exactly. What was you
Yeah,
expecting to find there? Just
you
hear
found a
some ghostly.
ghost.
Not he probably perhaps just thought he'd hear some voices and he'd be like, "Oh, go away, ghosts," and then they just go away. He didn't actually think he was going to see anything. I don't know. Um, he wants him and Kat to hide, and then Casper's uncle arrive from their night out. Like, where have they been? Have they been at the horse racing or something? Like, they've been somewhere because they're carrying some
Yeah.
sort of trophy or something or other. I don't know.
So I remember when I was younger really liking the uncles. I thought they were really funny. And I had the like I said, I had the stinky dog, and I was really worried that they were going to have aged exceptionally badly. But I was like, pleased to see that they hadn't.
Well, they're not offensive, but they're not funny.
Yeah. Well, they're not funny, but they're not annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't find them. I didn't find them annoying.
Oh, I
There are
did.
some. There are some like comedy characters from films from this era where you're like, oh god, the grating. They're not that. They don't. They don't. Yeah, I never got that from them.
They annoyed me. But yeah, I know what you mean. There are worst annoying characters in movies. But yeah, at least they're not offensive. That was good.
Well, that's good. Yeah, there's nothing offensive in this film. I don't think.
No. No, I don't think so. Yeah, they dispose of Casper and enter the house, but they detect there are new people in the home. And then James is trying to make contact with ghosts around the house cautiously, and then the uncle's scared James, and then they possess him. Now, this bit was cool. I like this bit.
Well,
So, so he splashes water in his face. First of all, he becomes Clint Eastwood. Then he becomes Rodney Dangerfield. Then he becomes Mel Gibson. And then he becomes the Crypt Keeper. I was like, that's really cool.
yeah, that's a nice again, nice deployment of cameos. And I'm assuming that was a bit of a riff on Poltergeist as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I liked it when he becomes Mel Gibson. He's like, ooh, really starts checking himself out. That was funny.
uh,
Yeah, the uncles are terrorizing James all around the house. So that causes him to fall down the stairs wrapped in a carpet, and they cut off his trousers with swords in musketeer fashion. It's all very, very silly.
you have no time for these shenanigans.
Oh, I don't. It was just very childish. James tries to fight back with a plunger. They're fighting with umbrellas, and Casper frees Cat from the closet. Then she sees her dad fight with the uncles, and then he uses a vacuum cleaner to contain them. I was like, that's got to be a Ghostbusters riff. It must be.
Yeah, got to be.
Yep, yep, yep.
Also contained, but again, what are the physics behind them? Like they can pass through walls, but they can't get out of a Hoover. Except the next time we see them, they're out of a Hoover. So they're not there for very long. And also, when they possessed him, they went inside him and then just were out of him.
Yeah. What was the
There's
point of
no
that?
real, yeah.
And also, are we made to believe it's the next morning that James and Kat then went to bed? Because I'll tell you something, I wouldn't sleep after all that shit. I
Yeah.
would have been out of
You're like,
there as well.
you're like, well, that's that sorted. Bed then.
Yeah. But yeah, the next morning, James and Kat are still here, and then James emerges with no, it's Kat emerges with a dustbuster and finds Casper making breakfast, and he assures her that he's a friendly ghost. It's all fine.
He wraps himself around her mouth and says, "Don't scream. Red flag, Casper. Red flag."
Yeah, that's the second
You,
one, I think,
just a hint out there to anyone. If somebody comes up to you and covers your mouth and says, "Don't scream, I won't hurt you," they're probably gonna hurt you.
in some form. Yes, yes.
Mm. It's also when she says, "Can you hurt me?" and he says, "No." It's like, that's what a weird serial killer would say.
Yeah. And also, he can. If he can like serve
Yeah,
breakfast, he could hurt you.
yeah, yeah. Can you hurt me? Only emotionally.
Yeah. But Casper and Cat have that moment where they're touching hands, and I remember that bit's embedded in my head as well. That was also from the trailer as well, when his hand passes right through her, which is kind of cool. James arrives and he served breakfast with Cat, and then the shit uncles arrive with terrible Apocalypse Now reference. I was like, oh, they come go da 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 da, and then like we get a shit Wizard of Oz reference as well. They're like, I'm melting, I'm melting. Like, I don't know. I hate references like that when they just try hard. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And again, I've
Didn't
written
bother me as
down
much. I
I
didn't know
could
that
be
much
what
of it was a Apocalypse Now reference.
he goes. I love the smell of whatever in the morning.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I've just written down I could be watching either of those good films right now. But
Oh, I don't know. The Wizard of Oz is a bit trying.
it is. But do you know what? I love the making of the Wizard of Oz probably more than the movie, like all the myth and lore and all the drama that happened, like
Oh yeah,
making it and stuff. So that's all
no,
cool
I
stuff.
haven't seen it in a few years. Might give it a go.
You probably enjoy it. Right, they fall them both into thinking they've crossed over to the next life, but then they haven't. Then they demand Casper serve them food, which is desserts. I'm like, but they don't really eat it, but
It seems to be a
passes right
mix of
through them.
things. It's not just dessert. It seems to be a mix of stuff. It looked like fish fingers shoved into chocolate, from what I could tell.
Ugh.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I would. I would if it was all that there was. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Uh, Cat gets angry with the uncles and then tells them to piss off. I was like, oh, okay.
It's weird in an American film as well.
Yeah.
Americans telling people to piss off doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, English saying it is really funny.
Piss off.
Yeah.
Boy, you uncles fucking do one.
Yeah. And then James tries to make a deal with the uncles to cross over and they can throw what I only assume is shit at him. Like,
Ah, it's gonna be chocolate. It's gonna be the chocolate pudding they were just eating.
well, I hope it was because it really looked like shit they just threw all over him.
Where are they gonna get shit from?
Well, I don't know. Digesting all that pudding they're just eating. I don't know.
They didn't. They're ghosts.
I don't know. I don't know, Smith. It's a very silly
Well,
film.
you've not thought it through.
No, no, neither did the script writers. Anyway, so at school we see it's Halloween and some bitch girl Amber almost knocks Cat over on a bike and just instantly decides she hates her. I was like, why? Why?
Generic high school blonde bitch character.
Who's a
That's you
bully?
always have to have one. Yeah, yeah. You always get one, and their boyfriend who's slightly put upon, but goes along with her anyway. It's a bit like Carrie, but for preteens.
Yes, it's exactly like Carrie because when they
No.
go do their prank later on, it's like I'm getting whiffs of Carrie here. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to their prank. I'm not
yeah,
entirely
yeah.
certain what
No,
that
yeah,
was.
me neither. Me neither.
No,
All right. So Cat is spiffing for that douche-looking kid, Vic. And
his name's Vic.
oh,
Fucking-
awful name.
Ugh.
He's not even a good-looking kid. He just looks like a fucking douche. It's like, why are you spitting for this guy? Like, I don't get it.
Would you rather if the kid was better looking?
Well, not for me.
Careful how you answer that question.
He's just a really annoying-looking kid. I was like, well, I don't get why you like him. But anyway, whatever. Yeah,
I would go out. I wouldn't go out with him. That's all I'm saying.
Me neither. Yeah. Yeah. So he introduces himself at the lockers, and that bitch girl Amber. We learn that they're together, and she. Yeah, again, I just don't understand why she hates Cap. Just all right, whatever.
But she's that kind of character that just hates the new girl because that's what the character is.
There. In class, the teacher says, due to an asbestos problem, the proposed Halloween dance has to be postponed. I'm like, has it?
Is it postponed? The Halloween dance has to be pushed back by a couple of months. And I'll just make it a Christmas dance if you pushed it back to December.
Yeah.
What? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Then
It's,
Amber, God,
it's very strange, yeah. Because then Amber like stands up and volunteers her house, and the teacher's like, "Great." It's like, sorry, does this teacher have the power to agree to holding a school function in a student's home without the parents sign off, without the principal sign off, without some sort of board of governors checking it over, without health and safety compliance? This all seems a bit fishy to me.
yeah, and especially later on, he comes
Yeah.
to the party as well. So what the fuck are you doing here?
This is, I assume, a school function, and this teacher is just agreeing that it'll be put on in a student's home.
I don't know. Maybe Amber's
Oh,
parents are part of the
fine. Yeah.
PTA, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, and it's her parents' boathouse. It's not even like their
Yeah.
house. It's a secluded place. That teacher.
By the water.
Yeah.
Because if you really need to get rid of a body quickly, you stick it in the river.
Oh yeah,
And that
absolutely.
shit is downstream. That's the next county over's problem.
Yep. Anyway, right. So the teacher introduces Cat to the class, and they all just start making fun of her. So it's not even Amber. The whole class just decide, oh, we hate Cat as well. But why? What has she
Because
done?
he announces Harvey Cat. They're like, Harvey. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but then calls her a cat immediately. As all right,
Yeah.
whatever. So because of this, Casper ties everyone's shoelaces together. That'll show those kids. Yeah.
Again, he
Uh,
can leave at will. He's like, I'm so lonely. Like, you're in a school full of kids. You could just hang out there every day.
well, yeah, make friends. Whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then after finding out where Cat lives, everyone decides they should have the Halloween party there, which
Yeah.
upsets Amber.
This, the kid, he's like, Mr. Curtis, check this. And then he goes, why don't we have the party at her house? They're like, yeah, cool. It's like, right. So now the teacher's agreeing to hold it at another student's house that hasn't even volunteered because some other kid's gone, yo, check this.
And also, it's not even Cat's house. They are living there
Yeah,
temporarily.
this all seems like a health and safety nightmare. It's
Yeah,
a
no,
lawsuit waiting to happen.
no, this shit wouldn't fly at today's age. No way. Right. And then back at the house, the uncles are smashing up James's shit, including his certificates. But then the uncles marvel over a photo of James's dead wife, Amelia, and they reveal they all know her. So,
Why
okay.
would he trust them for even a minute?
No,
Why would he trust the fucking thing they said?
no, absolutely. Yeah, because he says, "Oh, can you contact Amelia for him?" And they make a deal saying, "Well, as long as you get that Carrigan and Dibs to fuck off, we'll let you beat your wife." And he's like, "All
Yeah.
right, cool, I'll do it." And then Fatso plays a really shit joke on James pretending he'd be his wife in drag. I was like, first of all, that's really mean, and second of all, it's not funny. You found it funny, didn't you?
No, 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 not necessarily. I remember it. I remember this whole film very, very clearly from beginning to end. As I was
Yeah,
watching it, it was all coming back to me.
me too.
The only thing
Yeah.
I remember the Flight of the Valkyries bit earlier. I just remember Fatso being in like a Viking headdress and stuff,
Oh,
but it's not in it. And I don't know why I remember it like that. But I remember him like being dressed up like a woman singing the song. But
hmm,
not sure where I got that from.
who knows? Oh, they did a cartoon of Casper. Maybe it was in that. Like
Maybe,
after this, there was a
maybe.
cartoon of the film type thing. So
Yeah, I vaguely remember the cartoon.
yeah,
Every film that was even remotely popular at this time had a cartoon.
bizarre.
Rambo,
Beetlejuice for some reason.
RoboCop. Yeah,
Robocop, yeah, yeah. Right. Vic is at the house for some reason to see Kat and wants to come in and asks about the party. And then Vic asks Kat if she'd like to go in at the party, which upsets Casper. It's like, yes, again, this has got Carrie vibes.
yeah,
Very, very big Carrie vibes, all of this.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, what does this Vic guy got that I don't?" He's like, "I don't know, a pulse, a turn, a reflection." It's like, "All right, being a bitch.
Yeah, all right, we get it. He's
Why are you
dead.
being so fucking mean to him? A
He's
pulse,
died.
cold bloody hell. He's clearly sensitive about being dead."
Yeah, poor bastard died at like 12. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, it turns out it was a trick. Amber, that bitch, is planning to pull some sort of Carrie revenge bullshit, but doesn't really happen. But anyway, right, whatever. Casper wants to go with the party, but Kat says no, she's going with Vic. And then we get a shit Arnie impression, and then she flies with Kat across the sea like Superman. I was like, and again, some of these references really started to get on my nerves. And I've had this pointed out. They're very 90s references, so they're
Mm.
dated terribly when you watch them. And like some people are like, I don't get that. What does that mean? What does come with me if you want
Yeah,
to live mean?
I assume younger people would watch this and not understand a lot of it. And that's the risk of referencing something current ever is that it dates it like no one's business. Like
Yeah.
you really feel it. Like I was watching an episode of the first series of the Fast Show, which for those who maybe don't know, it is a British sketch comedy show. And there was a reference to like a current political person in it, and I understood the reference, but it's like 30 years old. It's like, yeah, you've lost the joke there because that's not funny anymore.
Mm. Yeah, I suppose that's. But South Park could be like that because it's so topical, isn't it? You
Oh
could,
yeah,
if people was to go back now, they'd be like, I don't get that. What does that mean? You know?
yeah. I mean, this is the point as well where I know with this film that it's juggling a lot of different plots, a lot of different tones, a lot of different characters. Um, and it does it fairly well. Now, where I struggle a bit is that a lot of stuff just gets paid a bit of lip service, not much character development. Things happen quite quickly in this
Mm.
film. Like it does, it moves. It's only like what 9600 minutes
Yeah,
long, maybe.
yeah,
It's
about
like
that.
so it trips along fairly quickly. Um, and I think it does a fairly good job of juggling those. So I've written them all down here. There's the dead mum, the romantic subplot between Casper and Kat. There is Casper's loneliness and wanting a bunch of friends. There's the Carrigan plot. There's the school dance plot, and then there's the revival of Casper into a real boy plot as well. And that is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plots, 6 interconnected plots that are being juggled in a film
Oh,
that's only 100 minutes.
and James wanted to find his wife plot as well.
Yeah, yeah, the dead mum. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So all of these plots being juggled, and that means it does a fairly good job of getting the characters across, who they all are, and juggling all of these plots, so it doesn't feel like a fucking mess. Like a film with this many different plots going on should feel messy. Like it should feel like you don't really know what's happening and there's too much going on. It doesn't have that, which
I
I
think it
quite enjoy.
does.
You
I
think
think
you
it
did
does.
it
Yeah,
really?
yeah. We'll get
I
to it
see. I
later.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't feel it. But all right, go on.
We'll get there. We'll get there. So Casper shows Cat a lighthouse and they discuss Casper's former life, but he says he doesn't remember anything before he died at the moment.
The moment.
Yeah. But back at the house, they're still talking about it, about Casper not remembering his previous life, and then Cat starts going on about her mum and missing her, and Casper asks Cat if he can keep her. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
dude,
red flag. Red flag.
red flag. And he
Can
gives
I
her a
keep
kiss.
you?
Yeah, ugh, that bit's horrible. I was like,
You're gonna end up in his basement.
and I'm like, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like, please don't ever leave here? I like you being here, or something
Yeah,
like that?
it's just worded really, really, really sinisterly.
Yeah. And then he gives her a kiss, which she doesn't like, and she's like, "Oh, Casper, close the window. It's cold." Like that. And then he goes to sleep on her bed like a dog. It's really weird. Oh yeah, and I've written down, no means no, Casper.
He said no. Jog on.
Yeah, fuck off. Right, so next day, and Kat wants to buy a costume for Halloween party so she can look nice, but James looks like shit for some reason. It's like, you just been up all night trying to get the ghost to leave? Like, what? Why are you all
I want to
disheveled?
assume so. I've written down here. He gets depressed quickly and for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And then James says they don't have a pot to piss in until Carrigan pays them. I was like, didn't Carrigan give them a check right when they first moved in?
Yeah,
Won't
maybe he
even
hasn't had
spend
time
that
to go and
already.
cash it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lazy bastard.
that's proper checks. Someone gives you, it's like, oh, I'll get to that. I ain't gonna get to that.
I would.
I must go to I must go to the fucking bank. God.
I'd stand outside until it opened. I wouldn't care if it was like Saturday night.
You'd be out
I'll
there
be here till Monday
at
morning.
3 in the morning, just looking at your watch, tapping your foot impatiently.
Yeah,
9 hours.
bloody
And
would
when
you?
the
I
person
would.
turns up at 9:30 Monday morning, like, what would you bloody call this?
Yeah, I'm one of those
You know how long
arseholes.
I've been stood here?
Absolutely. Right, anyway, so then Kat doesn't want the uncles to crash the Halloween party, which they don't actually, which is kind of weird. There was all this,
Yeah.
oh no, they're gonna come, they're gonna ruin it or whatever. Oh yeah, 'cause they're all singing, oh, it's my party and I'll die if I want to or something. I was like, all right.
The uncles don't really have that much influence on the plot.
No, no. Part bit of comic relief now and again. I didn't
Yeah,
find it
they
funny.
don't interact with. Do they interact with Carrigan and Dibbs apart from
No, I don't
very,
think they
very
do.
early on? I don't think they
Yeah,
do.
no, they don't. They don't.
Mm,
Right, anyway, so Kat goes to the attic and there's a bunch of old children's toys and memorabilia up there, and then Carrigan and Dibbs are spying on James in the house as James is talking to the uncles. Like, why are they spying on the house? Didn't they just trust him to take care of the problem? Like, why are they
yeah.
back here? Doesn't make sense.
Oh, you missed a point a bit earlier where she was talking to Dad and they were talking about like having the conversation.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
And then she goes, "Don't worry, not that late." And then I was like, "Oh wow!" I was like, well, assuming they're talking about banging. She was 14 when they filmed this.
Oh
Why
yeah.
would you assume that? Why would you assume that?
Now I question her because Christina was she was 15 when she filmed this, right?
No, I think she would have been 14 when she filmed.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
But
released when she was 15. But yeah,
you're made to believe. Oh, you've already said it already. But later on, when Casper becomes a boy,
yeah,
he's meant to be 12. So I'm thinking,
yeah.
so is Cat also 12, or is he kissing a much older girl?
I assume she's playing younger than she is.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Then what happens? Yeah, so then Cat's made up all the attic with all of Casper's old stuff, and that starts to make him
But,
remember his childhood. I was like, but
but
why
like,
does it?
and with this as well, I understand that she found the toys and got all of the toys out in order to help him remember his
Hmm.
childhood or his actual life. Where did she have time to clean
Yeah, look,
and
spotless
repaint
up
the
there,
room?
didn't it? Yeah, repaint the room.
like it still happened in 20 minutes. Like get a lick of paint on that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And she
That
worked
shit
out.
takes fucking days.
got that train set working again because that
Yeah,
can't have been
yeah, yeah,
easy to
yeah.
set all that up. But yeah,
In real life, what it would have been is just a box of shit. But look at the shit I found.
look how
And
dusty
also,
it
yeah, what dusty it is and ruined and rotten, and it doesn't work any of it.
is.
Now this metal's corroded, and all these batteries have exploded and put shit everywhere.
Oh yeah, that pisses me off when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's middle-aged man talk.
Yeah.
Oh, batteries are gone. Oh, I don't know.
And also during all this, the uncles have decided to take James out to get pissed. I'm like, hang a minute. One minute they hate this guy and they want him to fuck off, and now he's like their best mate and they want to take him out to get pissed. I'm like, why? I don't understand any of this.
I get the sense there's stuff cut out.
Yeah, I think so.
I get the sense there's probably quite a lot of stuff cut out, either shot and there's. Well, I'll get to my trivia bits. There are bits that were shot but not included,
Mm,
and bits that were abandoned for being too expensive. Some of which included the uncles.
yeah, perhaps. Right. So yeah, as Casper's remembering his childhood, he finds an old chest and he gives a dress that belonged to his mum and gives that to Cat. I was like, "Look, but why are you remembering small little details like this? I can remember getting like, oh, he remembers the train. He remembers like, the Ferris wheel. Or you can remember, why does he remember shit like, oh, in that chest is my mum's dress?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
it's annoying.
It's the dress he killed her in. So
Yeah. But that's it. They don't say because we learn about his father, but they don't really address the death of his mother or anything like that either. Okay.
no, I mean this film's got quite a lot of death in it. It's like
Oh God,
inescapable, I
yeah.
suppose, when you're dealing with a ghost. But there's also a bit where he's like, "Oh, I had 5 fingers." Like, well, wait, do ghosts lose fingers?
Yeah, he become like the Simpsons characters after
Yeah,
that. Like,
why? Doesn't
yeah,
make any
it's
sense.
weird. Now, this bit is bleak because in the Casper cartoons,
Yeah.
it's never explained why he's a ghost. He's just a ghost. And in some iterations of Casper, he was a ghost who was born from ghost parents. So he's just
Mm.
always been a ghost. This is fucking dark, what we
It's
learned now.
really dark.
Really dark. So Casper finds a sled that he begged his dad to get him. And in one day, he came downstairs and he found this sled. He went out sledding all day. And then he went out and froze to death and got pneumonia. I'm like, that is fucking horrible. That is
Yeah.
horrible.
It didn't need to be this bleak. They made this as an active choice they made to make it this fucking
Yep.
bleak.
Yep. They could have just left it as I just don't remember dying. They could have just left it. I don't know. I know
Also,
I
do we
wasn't
assume that
mindful.
Casper was a spoiled little rich kid? Because there are some theories that he's actually the ghost of Richie Rich. Because if you look at the original
Ah,
Harvey Comics drawings of Casper and Richie Rich, they are very similar. It is literally like they've just taken all the color off of Richie Rich and taken the hair away and just made a ghost.
perhaps,
But I think
perhaps.
that
Yeah,
might just
yeah.
be limited art style rather than an intentional reference.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, but it gets darker as well because then Kat asks him what it's like to die, and he says it's like being born but backwards. But he couldn't cross over because he wanted to stay behind with his dad so he wouldn't be lonely. I'm like, oh fucking hell, this is really sad, really
His
fucking
dad then
sad.
dies and um doesn't stick around as a ghost. The dad's fucked off.
No, his dad doesn't die. If you saw the newspaper, he got committed for being insane. So his dad built a machine called the Lazarus, which is going to
Mm.
bring Casper back. Which again, how are you going to build a machine that brings
Wait,
someone
so
back
his
from the
dad's
dead?
still alive?
Yeah, well, he might
I
have died in the
assumed
asylum.
no, I assumed that Casper died like a couple hundred years back.
Yeah. Oh no, no, I see what you're saying. No, yeah, yes. He died years and years and years ago, like in the
Uh,
Victorian age or something. Yeah, because you see what he's wearing later on. He's wearing like Victorian clothes. Yeah, no, he died years and years and years ago. But his father never died. His father just got committed for being insane, for being obsessed with bringing his son back from the dead and building that
right,
machine. Because it's all in the
right.
newspaper clippings. I was like, oh God, but yeah, that's
Got you.
really, really fucking. But again, doesn't explain about the uncles. Are they his dad's brothers? Are they his mum's brothers? Are they just ghosts who just say we're your uncles, but they're not? They're just bullies. Who knows? Yeah. Right. So then Casper takes Cat to see the Lazarus. And again, I'm like, but why do you remember where this? And why has the
Mm.
Lazarus been hidden? Like, was this part of his dad hid it in secret? But then why did he get committed? It's all very
Yeah.
unexplained.
It feels quite late in the day to be adding another plot.
Yes. Yes,
It's
it
like, oh, we're
does.
just going to put a plot in about how he can be brought back to life. Also, the chair has a big old whiff of the original Adams Family movie about it.
Oh, I wrote down this is a cheap excuse to build a theme park ride at Disney World, so that's why they've done it.
Yeah, well, they didn't. They never built that ride, and that's a shame because I would have killed to go on this chair when I was a kid. I was like, I saw the chair and I was like, I want to go on that. I mean, it's entirely unnecessary. Why has he built this chair? Why can't he just put some stairs in
Yeah, it's very Wallace
down
and
to his
Gromit.
lab? But why has he got like, oh, I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's very Wallace and Gromit. It's very Adams Family. It's
Yeah,
very like you could just have some stairs and a door with a lock. That would probably do the job.
are we meant to believe that every time his father wanted to go down to the basement to tinker with the Lazarus, he had to have a shave and have his teeth brushed and have a bow tie put on? Is
Yes.
that why he did it?
Also, yeah, why are you putting a bow tie on to go to the lab? Surely you'd be putting a lab coat on to go to the lab and taking your bow tie off. There's no one down there to impress. Also, that toothpaste by now must be manky as all holy
Oh
hell.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And why is there a second chair?
Yeah, that
Because
doesn't make sense either.
Carrigan and Dibs go down there and they're also in a chair. But the
It's
chair
just
hasn't gone back up, so there must be a second chair. But we never see a second chair.
no, which is
Doesn't
why
make
I
any
got the.
sense.
That's why I got the big old whiff of a Disneyland ride, just continuous chairs
Yeah.
that just keep going round and round
It
and
sounds
round.
like the Haunted Mansion to me.
Yeah. Or if that Simpsons Halloween special, the super fun happy slide. Um, yeah, and it's called the Up and Atom machine as well. So,
Yep.
and then we
Up
see
and
that
at them.
Up and Atom, and we see that it's hurt Dibs because when he went down and the razor blades got him in, like cut him to pieces and shit, because all of his suit's all dishevelled when he's down there. They can't get the Lazarus to work, but then inside a book of Frankenstein, there are some switches which Cat presses and it raises the Lazarus machine. I was like, again, why is this machine in secret? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
why is it hidden in the water? Why would you not hide? Why would you like leave it to rust in the ocean?
Like, surely if that basement's a secret anyway, it doesn't need to be hidden even more. I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. Then Casper gets the machine working, and then Cat discovers the potion which bring ghosts back to life, but it's only enough for one person. I was like, oh, that's convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, we couldn't make more.
No.
Surely there wouldn't be any instructions around on how you just make more of that.
And
Or if you knew you had a potion that could bring the dead back to life, you'd work out how to make more.
absolutely. And
You'd
also,
spend some time working that out.
and if this was like 200 years ago or whatever, why hasn't all that potion gone all horrible or evaporated or whatever? Why is it still perfectly fine and
Well, we don't know
contained?
what it's made out of. It's probably made out of the blood of Casper's victims,
Yeah.
being in that he's a dirty serial killer.
Yes, yes. There you go.
And she's in his basement now. Yeah, why
Yeah.
don't you just get in the machine? Just get in that machine. Yeah, don't ask questions about the machine. Just get the machine.
Why have you locked the door?
Why is
Uh,
there no lock on the inside? That's a good question, isn't it? You're asking all the right questions. Unfortunately,
yeah.
you've asked them all just a bit too late.
Yeah, now you're pointing all this shit out to me. It's Casper the Sinister Ghost.
Friendly my ass.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, so as they start getting the machine ready, Kerrigan and Hobbs steal the potion, those rascals, and then we see that Casper has become a fried egg. I was like, oh, hello, Harry. Okay. Right.
You've
And
got no joy in your heart, sir.
oh, I just found a lot of this very silly. I don't know. There's
It's a
some
kids'
stuff,
film.
yeah, but
What are
there are
you expecting?
better kid.
Irreversible.
There are better, yeah. There are better kids' films. I just thought this was very, very. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. I sense we
Um,
disagree, but okay.
yes, yes, yes. I'm sensing this too. Carrigan feels this potion is great. She can become a ghost, find the treasure, and use the potion to come back again. And now her and Dibs decide, oh, why don't we just kill each other? I was like, again, this seems very late in the day to introduce this. Like, this could have been something that went on for quite a few more scenes, and then they've
Yeah,
come to the realization, not just, oh, that's going to happen now. Okay, now we need to do that. I was like,
yeah. It turns into Home Alone for 5 minutes for no reason.
yeah, it absolutely
Also,
does.
there's a bit where Dibs has dressed in a suit of armor to put stuff on the floor to slip Carrigan over. Like you cut to him and he's in a suit of armor, like he's clearly trying to hide from her in the suit of armor. So he's gone to all the trouble of putting a whole suit of armor on, and then in the very next scene, it's off again.
Yeah,
It's like, what? Why?
comic effect.
I assume again something was cut out there where he was
Perhaps,
stood
yeah.
still in a suit of armor and she ran past him. He was like, oh, and they cut it out
Yeah,
for pacing.
yeah, yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah. And then they go outside. She tries to run over Dibs. He moves out of the way, and then she ends up plummeting to her death. And I've written down again, dark shit.
Yeah, it's funny though. It's funny when you look in the car door, he goes, that made me chuckle.
All right. Yeah, and then she comes back and me as a ghost, and she's like, "The bitch is back." I was like, "Again, swearing, a lot of swearing." Kids film.
This is the first thing where she's back as a ghost,
Mhm.
and wearing clothes.
That's true.
Whereas
The other ghosts
all of the
don't.
other ghosts don't wear clothes. There's some inconsistency on the ghost front in this film.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you're right. We're at a bar and James is getting pissed with the uncles, and they talk about killing James so they can all hang out together. And I've written down seriously, what the fuck? Like, what? You're going to murder this man so he can hang out with you eternally? Like, it's just so weird. And as they go to kill him, which is quite funny, they're approaching him like shotguns and stuff like that. They decide they can't kill him after all. But then James then goes outside the bar and plummets to his death down a mine shaft, which is just outside for some reason.
How deep was that hole?
Re- Really, really fucking deep. And also, as well, they're taking a bit of a gamble that he didn't have any unfinished business. He could have just died and just gone to heaven. But
Yeah.
that's so again, there's some inconsistency with that who has unfinished business, who
He
doesn't,
also comes back as a ghost in clothes.
in clothes and stubble and all that. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And glasses.
Glasses, yep. Cat pumps Casper back up, but the ghost Carrigan arrives and brings out Casper's treasure from the vault, and then Dibs brings the potion to Carrigan. The Casper gets it back off him. Blah, 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 blah. There's all
Blah, blah.
sorts of shit going
Blah,
on.
blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah. The party gets arrived for Halloween. I've written down, including the teacher. Why is the teacher there, the old nonce? Why
No,
is he here?
no, you see, now that's the complete opposite question. Assuming this is a school function and a school sponsored function that is inexplicably being held in a student's home, despite the fact that they don't even live there, why is there only one teacher?
Yeah.
Why aren't there multiple teachers?
And also, I love the fact that the DJ hasn't turned up yet. So it's like a scene or two of them all just standing around like, I don't know, what are we supposed to
Yeah, I
do?
did. I was like, who was supposed to sort that out? Was that meant to be the school? What's yeah?
Lots of inconsistencies. Then Dibs is trying to open the chest with a crowbar, and then Casper and Cat start setting up the Lazarus machine again. And then for some reason, Dibs just does a heel turn and tells Carragher to go fuck herself. He's not going to help her anymore. And then I'm going to get a dog and quite Carragher because you're a bitch. Oh my God, there's so
Yeah,
much swearing.
and he also talks about his home with purple wallpaper and green carpets. Like, what are you, the fucking Joker?
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
That's a terrible color scheme.
Yeah, and then fucking he throws her out the window. Carragher throws Dibs out the window. I was like, does that mean he's dead now? Then he
Yeah,
didn't
I
have
assume he
unfinished
died.
business. But didn't
Yeah,
have
why didn't he
unfinished
come back as a
business.
ghost?
Yeah,
No, he had no unfinished business. He had no
yeah,
business.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And at this point, Cat and Casper trick Carragher to say she has no unfinished business, and that causes a crossover and disappear. Like again, dark, really
Yeah, but she also
dark.
did have unfinished business in that there was the second part of her plan to come back to life, which would surely be her unfinished business. The literally unfinished part of your plan. And you also haven't looked at the treasure.
Yeah, this film picks and choose.
You don't know what's in there.
Oh
As it
yeah,
turns out, fucking nothing.
yeah. It's a signed baseball by Duke Snyder, which is Casper's favorite player. But right, and again, this goes back to so why was that in the house deed papers at the start of the movie? It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
maybe Casper put it there.
Uh, Perhaps. Cat tries to resurrect Casper in the machine, but now James is a ghost. And then after seeing how sad Cat is, they do that pinky swear thing we saw in the car earlier on. And then James realizes he's really fucked up. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so
and he remembers who she was because he'd forgotten who she was.
which is weird because earlier on it seemed like it takes time for memories to fade, whereas like he
Yeah,
instantly forgot she was. But Carrigan didn't forget who everyone was when she
no,
became a guy.
or
Oh,
what she was
Jesus
up to.
Christ.
He was also maybe he was drunk still. He'd
Yeah,
been drinking.
I've read that as well. That yeah, he was
Die
drunk.
drunk, stay drunk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Also, yeah, anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so Casper nobly lets James take his place and gets resurrected back to life in the machine. So yeah.
Now, does this mean now that he's resurrected back to life, conveniently wearing his clothes still
Mm.
that he was wearing earlier, and not naked, which you'd imagine he would be?
Yeah.
Does this mean that there's still a body at the bottom of that mine shaft of
I
him,
thought that.
and he's like, "You're here, and you're this guy, but there's also a
Yeah.
dead body that's also you."
Yeah. Yeah. I also thought that as well. That's weird. That's some Infinity War
Yeah,
shit going on. Yeah,
yeah, that's a head scratcher, that one. And would you go and get your own body?
yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Mess with it.
I can the purpose of this movie, I imagine that body would just kind of just disappear or whatever, but maybe not. Maybe there is
Yeah,
just a dead body at the bottom of that shaft. Who knows? So Casper's sad the party is starting, and then Cat's date is waiting. Cat's date is waiting? Oh yeah, Vic, yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I've written down, where did this DJ come from? I'm like, who is this man?
Maybe he's another teacher.
Maybe.
Maybe he's that kid earlier's relative. Check this. My uncle's a
Oh
teacher.
yeah. It might have been that. It might have been that. James tells Cat to enjoy her party, and then we see that Vic and Amber are trying to scare Cat with some shit costume. It's them two on top of each other wearing a shit. It's like, now listen,
Yeah,
this is a Halloween
yeah,
party
yeah,
where
yeah.
everyone's wearing costumes.
It's like people are going to freak when this is like, what? Why? It's a Halloween. You're right. It's a Halloween party with a Halloween costume. You've just got an impractical Halloween costume. That's not going to make people freak.
It's gonna look stupid.
It's just you sitting on
Yeah.
someone's shoulders. You melt.
It's a terrible, terrible. If it was some sort of plan, where, a bit like Carrie, they were going to have a bucket full of like eggs or something like that
Yeah.
fall on her, that would have, and then it backfires on her. But no, this is just such a weird plan.
Also, James was like, "Go and enjoy your party, honey." He's like, "I mean, you died tonight. You've just come back to like. It's been a long night." I'd be like, "Can we not? Can we not have a party? Can we just get everyone out?"
Yeah,
And I want to go to bed. Like I've died. I've come back to life.
yeah,
There's a
I'm
lot
still
going
pissed.
on. I'm
Yeah,
quite tired. I mean, I've had big meetings at work when I get home, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not going out tonight. I'm just going to get to bed."
yeah, yeah. This poor bastard died. Yeah,
Now, that is
right.
being a good dad, right?
Yeah,
You learn a thing or two.
yeah.
Even
What a
if you've
father.
died, you need to put your kids first.
Absolutely. You'll know that
Do
being a
I?
father now. Yeah.
Do I bollocks? What?
Anyway, moving on. Right, so Casper's in the attic playing with his toys, feeling all sad, but then he's visited by Amelia, which is James's dead wife and Cat's mum,
Yeah,
and she's
another inconsistent ghost because she's just a person
well, I've read that isn't she supposed to be an angel? Like that's her purpose in the afterlife. But again, why did she get to be an angel and
dressed
everyone else
in
gets to
red
be a
for some
ghost?
reason. I mean, I would assume affiliation with a different place if someone in
Yeah,
red turned up, especially because when she turns up, she's always got her arms out wide, like, "Ooh."
yeah, that
It's
is
like, why are
spooky.
you appearing spookily? Please don't
Yeah.
appear spookily.
There is no Dana, only Zool.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So she grants Caspar a wish to be a boy until 10 p.m. as a reward for giving Cat and her dad back, giving Cat her dad back. But he's like, oh, but Cinderella got to midnight. He goes, oh, well, Cinderella wasn't 12 years old. I'm like, you look older than 12, dude, but all right, whatever.
Well, so he's not. He's a couple of 100 years old.
Well, yeah, there's also that. And then during a soppy song, Casper emerges as a boy and finds Cat by herself and asks her to dance. And then she
Not
realizes
any
it's
boy. He appears as Devon Sawa from the Final Destination film.
quite right, quite right. But she realizes it's Casper because he's floating. I was like, right, so hang on a minute. So did you just think some random dude just said, do you want to dance? And she was like, yeah, cool. I was like, God, you really don't care about Casper at all, do you? All these boys like asking you out, you're just saying, yeah.
And you know it's him because he briefly says, "Can I keep you?" And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
scene of
isn't it
work.
sweet but creepy and horrible?
It's not sweet. It's
No, it's
fucking
not.
sinister.
It's meant to be sweet, but it's not. It's
No.
just weird. Yeah, I've written down psycho. Anyway, as James watches the party, he's visited by Amelia, and she tells him to stop searching for her as she has no unfinished business, as her life was already perfect with him and Cat. No.
Oh.
And then the
Yeah,
clock
but she's
strikes.
dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, maybe your unfinished business is the last 40 years of your life.
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't mind coming and finishing it.
Yep. And then the clock strikes 10 p.m., so Casper gives Cat a kiss, and he turns back to her ghost. Like, right, hang on a minute. So did he turn into a boy at like 9:45 p.m.? 'Cause he's literally turned into a boy, come down a very quick dance, then he's turned immediately back into a ghost.
I'll give you till 10 p.m. Hold on a minute.
It's 9:30.
Surely you mean 10 p.m. tomorrow, right? We'll get a whole day of it. I
Yeah.
want to go outside.
Yeah, and I've written down what a shit granted wish. Like you needn't have bothered.
Didn't clock that, but you're right. It's so shit.
Yeah, yeah.
15 minutes.
Oh, wow. And then yeah, the party guests see Casper as a ghost and scream, and they run away when he says boo. And then suddenly the uncles arrive, and now they like Casper. They're all friends, and then they start playing instruments and having a party and dancing and credits. And I've written down what the fuck. It just
Credit.
ends so abruptly. It's just like it just ends.
Films at this time did that though. Short Circuit did it as well. End. Just
Yeah.
end. Like film's over. Everyone, you can go home. Bye.
So that was Casper.
That was
Right.
Casper.
So
The
right. So
friendly ghost, the friendliest ghost you know.
indeed. Right. Anyway, so let's rewind back.
No,
1995.
no,
I mean, I'll put my hands up. I did not hate anything about it in 1985. I
no,
loved
neither
this
did
film. I thought it was
I
great.
loved it. Loved it when
So
I was a kid. I thought it was great. I thought it was funny. The uncles were funny. I enjoyed them. I think Casper was. It had elements of spookiness which I enjoyed. It had felt like other films that I liked. So it felt like Ghostbusters. It felt like Adam's Family. It felt like Hocus Pocus. It felt like all of these other
yep.
films. And yeah, it had nothing. I didn't dislike anything about it back then.
Yeah. Same. I left the cinema when I was a kid with a big smile on my face. Like, wow, that was
Absolutely.
good. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And then we come to now. Right. So we'll start with you. Did
Hmm.
you did you feel the same way, or has your opinion changed on it now as
So
an
look,
adult?
did I feel the same way as I felt about it when I was 10? No. Like, did I come over and go, that was great. That was one of the best films I've ever seen? No. Um, it's still good though. Like it's performances are good. Like Bill Pullman's very watchable. Um, it's yeah, performances were good. The plots, the many plots, it kind of all hangs together quite nicely. It moves really quickly. It doesn't drag. And some of these films for me drag. Like
Mm.
you watch a film like The Never Ending Story where it just legitimately felt like it was never ending, whereas this did not drag at all. It was like just tripped on quite nicely. The effects have really held up. The performances are all pretty good. The humor is obviously aimed at children, but it's not. I know you didn't think this, but I didn't think it was cringy in the way that sometimes these things can be, or just annoying and grating. Like, oh, what was it that we saw that had the really like the mask, like grating, irritating humor.
Mm.
This doesn't have that. It's not particularly funny for a 40-year-old man, but it's gentle and it's good humored. And I think a lot of it comes down to like, and now certainly as I think like, would I show this to my kid? Would there be anything in this where I think I don't want her to watch that? No, not at all. I'd quite happily let her watch it, I think she'd have a good time with it.
Yeah, I'd probably let my son watch this, but I wouldn't say, "Oh, you've got to watch this." There are so many films I would say, "Oh, you've got to watch this film's great." This one just be like, you can watch it if you
Yeah,
want.
but you can't show an 8-year-old Predator. So,
Well, not with that attitude. Like,
I mean, I definitely will show an 8-year-old
oh yeah,
Predator.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, this really
But
pissed
Daddy, I
me
want
off.
to play with my Barbies. No, you don't. Shut up. Watch Predator.
Watch Predator. Watch Predator 2 as well. No,
Yeah.
this film really pissed me off. Like, it's just, I thought Bill Pullman's character is really underdeveloped, right?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there is that. There is
He
that. He's not in it as much as I remember him being in it.
No, he's hardly in it at all. Right, he's hardly in it. The Dibs and Carrigan stuff is really weird because I'm like, what was their plot? They just wanted to get the treasure like that. Like when you really think about it, well, she's in a house that's got ghosts in it, so she wants them to go. I was like, well, she's not really the bad person there, is she? Like I totally
It
understand
depends
that.
which side you're on. But also it's as I said earlier, like it juggles a number of different plots, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
juggling lots and lots of different plots,
way
and it
too
does
much
it fairly
stuff.
well. But it does mean that none of them are particularly well developed. They're
Exactly.
juggled. They're juggled well in that they're not jarring. It doesn't feel like what the fuck is that doing here? And they are all resolved. Everything gets resolved. But there is no hanging thread. There is nothing at the end of this film you go, oh, hang on, what about that? What about that? What about that? It all gets resolved, admittedly, in the kind of most A to B to Z, way possible
Mm.
because of the amount that they're trying to do in the time that they've got. But it does all get resolved.
But this is what's getting on my nerves because you had some really good ideas there. Casper coming back and being a real boy, yeah, and that would just get shoehorned in for 5 minutes and then it's resolved.
Yeah.
Cat's dad dying. Oh my God, that's tragic. She's lost her dad. Immediately resolved. Like that. And then there's just a lot of shit that just gets immediately resolved like that. And I'm like, the only thing that is consistent, but they could have developed it more, is him wanting to find his wife again, and he finds her
Mm.
right at the end. It's like, right, okay, I like that. But there still
Yeah.
could have been more of that. Like, we don't know why Bill Pullman was all depressed at the table. It could have been, oh, I miss my wife so much. Something like that.
I assume there's a scene missing there somewhere.
Yeah, it's just there's just so much shit that's been thrown at the wall, right? And yeah, like you said, a bunch of stuff's probably been cut out. I
Yeah.
didn't find the uncles funny. I found them fucking annoying. I thought the
I see. I didn't
references
find
were
him
stupid.
annoying.
No, I did. I didn't find them funny.
I
Uh,
think to your point, this film could do with another 10, 15 minutes in it to
yes,
breathe.
yeah,
I think just to have a little bit more stuff, like a few more scenes of character development.
yeah. Even the stuff with the Amber and Vic, like them hating Cat, that's all just oh, that's got to come back at the end to
Yeah, but
resolve
you
itself.
get that. Yeah, but you get that in any film of this era with teens. Like there's always the character that hates the girl for no reason. Like there's always that character.
Yeah, but there could have been another scene at the school when they're being dicks to her again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have it. Just there's just a lot of idea. There's a better film there. I think there is a better film
Oh,
there.
there's definitely a better film, but this film isn't a bad film.
It's not a bad film. It's just I don't I don't hold it nearly in the high regard as I used to. Like I used to love this film and I would happily watch it again and again and again. But this time was like, I don't think I'm going to
Yeah,
watch this
but
for
it
a
would be
good
odd
long
if
while.
at 41 years old you were watching Casper again and again and again.
No, but like we've covered Hocus Pocus a couple of years ago. I could happily watch that every Halloween. Like I fucking love that film. It's a great film. It's a
Yeah.
riot. Yeah, I couldn't watch this every Halloween. It
What did
just
I
get on
say
my
about that?
nerves.
Did I say that held up or not?
Yeah, yeah, we both said it held up. Yeah,
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because
yeah.
yeah, no, I think you're right. But then I again, if I showed this to my daughter and she watched it and she loved it and she wanted to watch it again and again, I think it is something that I could have on that I wouldn't go out of my mind having on again and
Yeah,
again.
okay, I give you
Like
that.
there are
Yeah.
certain things where if a kid wants to watch it again and again, you're like, oh, I can't hack this. I can't sit. Like there are so many kids films that you see where you're like, if I had to watch this more than once, I would lose my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you
Whereas
mean.
this is something where it's like, oh, cool, yeah, let's have it on. I mean, I'm not going to pay any attention to it. I'm going to be doing something else, like reading or looking at my phone.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
harmless. It's harmless.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
harmless. I think that's
yeah,
yeah, I think that's right.
yeah. Anyway, let's pause that for a second. Smith trivia,
Yeah.
what you got for us?
Smith Trivia. Right. So let's see. We've got $55 million budget, 290 million at the box office. So a fairly sizable hit. Not huge, but fairly sizable, which makes it slightly odd there wasn't a cinematic sequel to it, which you would expect. And you could see
Mm.
things they could do here, easily do, and the plot threads they could take forward into a sequel. I said director Brad Silberling, first movie that he had ever done. He'd done a lot of TV stuff before that, went on to do City of Angels and Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, as well as others. Nothing particularly brilliant. All of his stuff seems competent, but not groundbreaking. So this film looks perfectly fine. Like it's a perfectly well shot film. It's very nice, but
Yep.
it was written by Sherry Stoner and Deanna Oliver. Now I wonder, is this the first film that we've covered that had female writers? I
I
didn't have
can't be.
time to look it up properly, but I might go back and check because I don't think that we have. I've often find that it's more men that are screenwrite who do screenwrite at this
Yeah.
period than women. But yeah, I might be wrong. I might go away and look up stuff we've previously
Yeah.
done and see if I can find one. Um, Remind me to
Yeah.
do that for the next one.
Yeah, definitely.
I say Casper the Friendly Ghost first appeared in 1945, which again begs the question: who was this for? This was the first feature film that had a fully CGI character in the lead role. There was used CGI in films before, but there you go. The original director was Alex Proyas, which would have been interesting. So Alex Proyas did Dark City and The Crow.
Mm.
It was originally signed on but dropped out due to creative differences. One would assume he was going to make it dark as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
um, the overall production was led by executive producer Steven Spielberg, who wanted to do a adaptation of Casper. It's one of the things he liked when he was younger. J.J. Abrams did an uncredited rewrite on the script. So I'm going to jump around a bit just because it was the order in which I picked up these pieces of trivia. There was a cameo, so a deleted cameo. There's a couple of deleted cameos, in fact. One, Steven Spielberg in the mirror scene. Originally, there was an additional bit where Steven Spielberg appeared. Unfortunately, that was cut for pacing, to which Steven Spielberg was quite happy as he didn't consider himself a very good actor. Which other film does Steven Spielberg have a quick cameo in at the end?
Oh, no,
There
go
you
on.
go. Fresh bit. Blues Brothers. Right
Does
at the end
he?
of the Blues Brothers, when they get to the office building and they handcuff the guy and pick him up and take him over, that's Steven Spielberg. Young Steven Spielberg appears at the end of the Blues Brothers.
I did not know that.
Oh,
There you
yeah,
go.
go back, watch it. Yeah. Another deleted cameo was Zelda Rubinstein, who was in Poltergeist. The little, this house is clear.
Yeah, yeah.
She was originally filmed being tormented by the uncles and shot out of the chimney whilst saying, go into the light.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Which they
I
kept
don't know why
like,
they cut. I don't know why they cut it. I don't know why they cut it. So there are sequels. So actually getting into this was quite because I was looking at this. I was like, there are sequels. There was originally a sequel that was drafted and ready to go, but they couldn't get Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci were too busy, couldn't do it, and so eventually it got shelved. So you ended up with two direct-to-video sequels, neither of which I've seen. Casper: A Spirited Beginning and Casper Meets Wendy.
mm,
So Wendy's Wendy the Good Witch. Wendy the Good Witch is another
yep.
Harvey Comics character who was originally meant to be in this. So she was originally in the early draft script. Wendy the Good Witch was supposed to be in this film at the end and meet Casper. However, they didn't want to spend money on rights to more than one. But the fact actually that when they did bend the rights to the character, they've changed some of the uncles. So the uncles weren't called Stinky, Fatso, and Stretch. There was Fatso was there, but Stinky and Stretch were called something different. I can't remember
Yeah.
what they were written down. One of them was Lazo because he was meant to be lazy, and the other one was Fusso, I think it was Lazo and Fusso. So Fusso was meant to be fussy, Lazo was meant to be lazy, and Fatso was meant to be fat. But they changed it for the film, which is probably good because Lazo and Fusso is a bit shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was a sequel that was originally uh, also meant to go direct. Proper sequel meant to go in 2000, but it was cancelled due to the low sales of the direct-to-video sequel. So they did the two direct-to-video sequels, and then they were going to do a cinematic sequel. But because nobody liked the direct-to-video sequels, they didn't bother doing a cinematic sequel. It's like, well, yes, because direct-to-video sequels are shit
Yeah,
and
exactly.
are often low quality and don't have the same people. And so that never got off the ground. It was Simon Wells was going to do it, who's an animator who worked on a bunch of animated stuff at Disney. They also did Casper's Haunted Christmas, which came out in 2000. That was completely computer animated. And in March 2014, DreamWorks were looking at doing a fully CGI reboot. Now,
Hmm.
see, this surprises me that there hasn't been one because they've done all of those things. You know, you've had
Yeah, yeah,
loads of that stuff come out, like the Grinch,
yeah.
the Scooby Doo one. Like, there's tons of these things, and they've not
Hmm.
done a Casper one yet, which suggests there's little interest in it.
Hmm.
And weirdly, it's become quite zeitgeisty recently. I've seen Casper, not just us doing it, but I've seen it crop up on loads of different things recently on YouTube and on podcasts. It seems to be
Mm.
the film that people are now talking about.
Yeah, it's the
Anyway,
30-year anniversary. That's why.
that would be it.
Yep.
Deleted scene of photos of the uncles as humans.
Hmm.
So there is and apparently that picture does exist. You can find it online. There is a picture of
Oh,
Christina Ricci finding. I'm going to go look it up afterwards. Picture of Christina Ricci finding a photo of the uncles when they're human. Um, the house, as you noted, made an appearance in Backstreet's Back.
all right.
All right. Yeah. So that was used for that, and you can kind of see it. They didn't bother changing it very
Yeah.
much. Um, the Fatso was voiced by Brad Garrett. Now, do you know Brad Garrett?
Yeah, for
Voice
everyone loves
sounds familiar
Raymond.
from
Yeah,
Everyone Loves
yeah,
Raymond. Yeah, this was his
yeah.
first voice acting role. He also voiced Krang in the recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films.
Hmm.
So he crops up, yeah. So he's the voice of Krang. Yes, so people that were potentially cast. I read a very long list of these, and it's one of those things that I always think, is
Bullshit.
that true, or is it
Yeah.
just somebody wrote down, wouldn't it be good? Anyway, James Harvey, Dennis Quaid, Hugh Grant, Tom Hanks, amongst others. You're never going to get Tom Hanks to do this.
No.
Apparently, Anthony Hopkins was pretty close, but he clashed with filming on Nixon.
Mm.
I mean,
Wise choice.
that's a
Yeah.
yeah, that's a hell of a clash. Carrigan, Sigourney Weaver, Sandra Bullock, Leah Thompson. You can believe Leah Thompson, I think
Yeah.
perhaps from that, but not the others. Dibbs, Bob Hoskins, Hugh Laurie, John Cleese, Michael Palin, Chevy Chase,
Uh,
amongst others.
yeah.
I could see maybe Hugh Laurie making a good fist of it
Yeah.
at the
Because
time. John
he
Cleese
was
would
in
have
a
been
lot of
wrong.
90s movies at that time when that's when he went over to Hollywood. So yeah.
Yeah, all of them. I think John Cleese was doing stuff at this time, like
Hmm.
yeah, Silverado. He was a western. He was in the 80s.
Hmm.
Well before this. Devon Sawa was cast in the role as human Casper because when they brought people in, he was the one that Christina Ricci blushed and giggled around the most. They were like, "Good, have him." It's not his voice though, and he says, "Can I keep you?"
No.
It's still the same
Yeah,
person
yeah.
doing the voice as Casper. Um, Final deleted scene. There was supposed to be a musical number in it between Bill Pullman and the Ghosts, the trio, the ghostly trio, but was cut for time and money. It would have been too expensive to animate. And that is all the trivia that I had, jumping around as it was.
Cool. There's one I wanted to add. Apparently, when
Oh,
they
go on.
were in development for this, or even thinking about it, in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, there was I don't
Yeah,
know whether it was shot or whether it was written and just never shot or whatever, but there was going to be a scene after Marvin Acme has died. They were going to have a funeral, and obviously all the cartoon characters were going to be at Marvin Acme's funeral, and Casper was going to be there, which I thought was
that's
pretty cool. But they didn't get the rights to Harvey Entertainment or whatever, so it never happened. But that would have been the perfect place to have had Casper at Marvin Acme's funeral.
so that's interesting. Actually, the Harvey comics are quite litigious and don't like giving the rights away for stuff, which I assume why it probably cost them quite a lot of money to get the
Yeah.
rights for this. So they sued Ghostbusters. Did you read about this?
No.
Harvey Comics sued Ghostbusters when it was first real because they thought the Ghostbusters sign was too close to Fatso in
Wow.
their original comic, and they wanted 50 million in damages and all copies of Ghostbusters destroyed. They were
Jesus
like,
Christ.
destroy the film and give us all this money. It was thrown out of court because they hadn't renewed the copyright on the Fatso imagery. So even if they thought that it did look a bit similar, they didn't have the copyright for it anymore, so they couldn't.
Soz G.
Would you
Yeah.
imagine that though, if that had actually worked and they'd actually destroyed
Yeah.
Ghostbusters?
My God, that'd be crazy.
Because
Be
that was in
co
a time where you could have done that. Like you could have in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
80s, you still could have found every physical print and deleted it. Now that would never work because
Nah.
the digital world has meant that that's not possible.
And can you imagine if like that had happened and like there was a rare copy of it out there, it'd be worth millions.
Yeah, trying to find the one
Yeah.
copy, but like, a little bit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Nosferatu. So the original
yeah, yeah,
1920s Nosferatu, which Bram Stoker's
yeah,
widow wanted destroyed, and they did, but they missed a couple, and
yeah,
that's why we can still see it today.
yep. Absolutely. And thank God.
Well, yeah, it's great.
Right then. The final verdict, does it hold up?
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely, loved it. Had a great time with it.
I'm going to say no, it doesn't. And like you said, it's not a bad film. It's just I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I did. And I just found a lot of it quite annoying and jarring. So, yep, we got one of those anomalies where it kind of holds up. You think it does, and I don't. There you
Mm.
go. But would I watch it again? Probably with my son, probably, but I wouldn't go out my way to watch this. I'd go out my way to watch Hocus Pocus.
I wouldn't. Would I go my way? I wouldn't go out my way to watch it. I wouldn't go out my way to watch many of the films that we cover on this. But
Or I would. I want to go back and watch Tango and Cash again. That was great.
well, yes, but that's different.
Right then. So it's next episode's nomination, and it's you, Smith.
Oh,
So I don't know. What have you got for us? Are we going for a movie? Are we going for a TV show? Are we going for a cartoon? What are we doing?
we are going to go for a cartoon.
Oh, okay. Good. Our
No,
second cartoon.
a second cartoon. Let us continue the spooky theme,
Hmm.
and we will go and watch a few episodes of The Real Ghostbusters.
Oh, amazing. Well done. Yeah, that's a good follow on for this Halloween episode. Why not? Why not indeed?
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, some of them get fucking weird. Not Ghostbusters Extreme, that was crap. Yeah, just the
No,
original,
no, this will be The Real
the real
Ghostbusters. I will
Ghostbusters.
curate 2 or 3 episodes for us to watch,
Brilliant.
and we will go from there.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I've genuinely not watched that since I was a kid. It's not even as an adult when we've watched stuff. I've genuinely not watched that since I was a kid. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I had VHS of it, so I imagine if I pick the right ones, I'll remember them quite
There you go.
clearly.
Perfect. Right then. So, just want to plug our socials before we get out of here. We're on email, it doesn't hold up podcast at gmail.com. We're on Instagram, it doesn't hold up podcast. We're on Twitter, or X as it's now known, it doesn't hold up pod. We're on YouTube at It Doesn't Hold Up Podcast, and we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other good places you listen to podcasts. So give us a good review, like us, follow us, share us, and remember, keep those suggestions coming because we will cover them eventually. Right, so Smith, is there anything else you'd like to say on Casper before we get out of here and reconvene for the real Ghostbusters?
Or anything else? Yes. Can I keep you?
You may not. And I just want to say to all of you, and wish you a very happy Halloween.